Duelists, we're grinding the Duelist Cup with everyone's favorite Swordsoul Tenyi. Let's get into it. Opponent off to a stellar start. Of course, we just drew the best card in our deck, Emergence. Testing for the Ash, they have the Ash. That is unfortunate. I guess we'll have to try again next turn. Well, luckily, it's not like our opponent set up, so we can just wait and chill. Our opponent sets one. Yes. Bigger plays from our opponent. They're moving along. We drew the best card in our deck. Again, Emergence. You got the second Ash. No, but you have a Max C. That's fine. I'll take that challenge. Let's get the Mo Yi. Reveal the Protoss. Reveal the Blackout, that is. Token. Into Chi Xiao. Do we all know these plays by now? I'm just going to keep going. I actually love this deck. I know people think it's boring, but it's good. Chainlink 1, Chi Xiao. Chainlink 2, Mo Yi to block, draw a card. That is a absolutely phenomenal rip. We're going to also add the long one. We can activate the long one from the hand, pitching the Blackout. I don't think we're going to need that with what our opponent's getting up to, which is not much. And we can go in, of course, to the Baron de Fleur. Honorary Swordsoul. Honorary Swordsoul. We'll burn for our 1200. Now let's fire that Pot of Desire, see what we can get off the top. All three Max C's in hand. Okay, well, at least we can pop their set Max C. We can fire our own Max C just so that we can banish it with the Protoss, and our opponent says they have seen enough. That was going to be damn near lethal anyway. Well, their connection failed. I'd say they run. The same thing. Let's keep that train rolling. We're on the play this time, and we have a absolutely phenomenal hand. Let's go Ecclesia. Fire Ecclesia, jump off the field to get us a Moye. Moye revealing the other Moye. There's our token. We can now go into, you know who it is. It's Chi Xiao. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy, easy, easy. Let's speed this up. Let's speed through these. Let's add the Long Yong, pitching the Tenyi Spirit, which we can actually banish from the graveyard. Let's get the Barone, of course. Burn for 12, set the called by, set the Impermanence, pass it to our opponent. What are they on? Alright, well, Droplet's always a good sign. Sending 2, yeah, not much we can do about that. Miracle Contact. Okay, well, at least we can call by the grave the Neos that they sent, so they're not actually going to be able to fuse, but they have the Neos fusion anyway. Alright, well, so we are going to lose our Barone. We are also going to lose our Chi Xiao. They get to add another Miracle Fusion. Certainly a powerful turn. Honestly, Droplet is just decimating this event. But we have plays. We have plays. Let's go Taya, banishing the Moye to get a token. And now we can activate the Ashana to grab a Adhara out of the deck. We can go into Baxia. Baxia double spin. Let's get those out of here real quick. Chainlink blocking with the Tire just in case. And then we can go into a Monk of the Tenyi. Adhara trigger, adding back the Moye for next turn. Get in for a just about half their life points, and then pass it back. Now, we know they have that fusion in hand, so they can definitely fire, and they have the Neospace Connector. I'm just going to Ash that. But it can actually jump off in response, and jump off and do the thing. We are going to Imperm the Neos just so they don't get to add another card. They're going to go Anaconda and do it all again. Oh, no, this is Rainbow Neos now, the big guy. He's going to send both of our monsters back. We are in a bit of trouble, but like I said, we still have plays. Moye, reveal the other Moye. We have the token. Let's get a Baxia Part 2. Spin that back. And get in for lethal. Easy money. God, they Neos Fusion like 4 times during that? That was ridiculous. Alright, not too bad a hand. Certainly does even better if we can get the Pot of Desires to resolve. Pot of Desires. Yes, draw two of the best cards in our deck, of course. What am I saying? All of our cards are excellent cards. We can go Vishuda into Monk. We can save that Vishuda for later to bounce something on our opponent's side of the field. Now we can go at Hara, and since this Hara is a tuner, we can actually go into a new line. Let's do the Halka Fibrax play, right? Obviously, we can grab the 001, go into Auroradon. We've seen this before. I know it's basic, but this is the Duelist Cup, and I would like to win. So maybe if I do this, people will just concede because they don't like it. Bring the Despot back, and we're actually going to go into the Herald of the Arclight. Now, Herald will allow us to negate. We can also tribute the Mecha Phantom Beast, Auroradon, and a token to get the O-Lion. Moye can reveal Taya to allow us to go into our Chi-Xiao. Chi-Xiao, of course, will search, and we will pick up off the Moye as well. Well, Emergence is a great draw, and we got the Long Yon, and then we can actually use that O-Lion to go into our Baron Floor. I don't think we're going to need the Chi-Xiao when we have the Herald as well. We can go into Long Yong, into Chang Ying, and then we can set our Blackout. And Blackout can, of course, target our Chang Ying, and it can protect itself by banishing, which will allow us to then banish from the grave and from the field. So some nice little synergies. Our opponent's got Pankratops, which certainly is a problem. They're going to elect to beat over our Herald and then pop, and forcing our hand. We do want to keep the Barone, so we will have to negate. Now, unfortunately, this is going to allow them to make some more plays that we could have prevented had the Pankratops not been around. They're going to go into right, start the Adventure Engine up. Now, I elect to fire Blackout here before they get to searching anything. No token, as well as no Fateful Adventure, but they have the Pot of Desires as well. They're beefing our Chang Ying up, but they're on Sky Strikers, so we know that they're here to ruin all of our fun. They're going to fire that Widow Anchor and end up stealing our Chang Ying, as well as special summoning our Chi-Xiao from the grave. Now, this is only for a turn, but that's a lot of damage, if I do say so. They're actually not even going to use them. They're just going to go into an IP Masquerena. Okay, interesting. So they'll be Link Summoning on our turn, and then just set Multi-Roll. Activating Multi-Roll, sending the mask. Why did they do that? Okay, not sure if that was a misplay or... but I guess we can try and send that back or back. They're just going to banish our Chang Ying, so we have no way to get it back. That's okay. We still have a Barone. Barone will be able to pop the Multi-Roll. After, of course, we return the Vishuda to the hand. We can pop the Multi-Roll and at least clear the field. We can go Taya. They're going to fire the Maxi to refill, but I have the Ash Blossom to negate. So it's actually looking pretty good for us. I don't know what was up with that IP Masquerena play. Yeah, our opponent sees the writing on the wall. We could have went Taya, obviously, into banish any worm, get a token, go into another Chi-Xiao, go into a Draco Berserker. We had a few plays, but we definitely had lethal there. Interesting. I don't really know what happened with the Masquerena. Swordsoul Tenyi, how I love thee. Special summon the Shatana. Let's go for the Monk. We're always going to try and go for that special summon of the Tenyi monsters in the beginning, and just to go for the Monk, just so that we have that ability to activate their special summon clause, because as soon as we have a face-up non-effect monster, as soon as we have a face-up effect monster, that is, we can no longer do that. So we're just going to go into the Monk for later. Monk is also a great target if we do get to add Blackout. Just because it's a 1,000 body, we can easily just kind of throw it away, or we can potentially even go into a Shaman of the Tenyi play, which we'll see at some point here. That was unfortunate that they ashed us, but we were still able to search as well as fire the Pot of Desires. We've got a Long Yon, pitching the extra Long Yon, and then we'll go into a Baron de Fleur. We've got the Blackout. We're going to burn for a little bit. Why? 1,200 is just such an obnoxious number for incidental burn. It's really ridiculous. Like, they should have made that like 500 or 800 or something. But this is a pretty ideal board. All right, we can negate that. I don't want them drawing any spells anytime soon. So, drawing any cards anytime soon, I should say. they have another spell, but we are going to elect to negate that as well. Wow, a lot of URs in the Charmer deck for a deck that's not really that great. There's the Pot of Desires. Okay, and then nothing. Okay, too many negates for our opponent to do. Also playing Charmers, but you know, it is what it is. Duelist Cup, baby. All right, this is probably the first hand, except for maybe that very first hand. But this is the first hand that I'm not feeling too great about. We have no hand traps, and we're on the draw. Now, our opponent is playing best deck Dinomorphia. Check that video out. So, you know, honestly, I don't even care if we lose this. They've got the Prosby, they've got the Fossil Dig, they've got the Turretia. Let's go normal Turretia. I like this play. We're going to set a domain. I like that play as well. Very nice. And set 2 more. Very cool. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. We can clearly special summon some of our Tenyi, so we'll go with the Ashana first. Ashana into Monk, and then activate Ashana to special summon a Tenyi from the deck. Let's get the Adhara. It is a tuning. But we're actually going to go into the Shaman at this point. Now we can activate the Longyon, pitching the Shithana. Now that's just going to insulate us for later. The Shithana allows us to pop cards when one of our monsters is destroyed by battle. Now we can go into the Chang Ying. I'm just hoping that we can not have that happen. Okay. I was hoping we could just OTK. Obviously should have just gone for the Barone. Been able to negate things, but that Compulse is actually looking pretty damning, and they're going to go for a Trap Trick as well, getting a Brute. So they're going to be able to pop one of our cards as well. Let's see how we can go from here. We'll activate the Taya, hoping to bait the Brute, and they will take the bait. We still have plays past this, but they certainly are cutting off our options. We will get our token still, technically, but they will be able to special summon back from the grave Diplos. Diplos will send a alert, which they'll be able to activate with the Kentrigina at some point. We can return the Ashana to the hand just for later, or to pitch to the Shaman and the Tenyi. Bring that Taya back. Now, we have the Taya and we have the token, so we can still Synchro Summon, but they were able to Kentrigina and activate the Brute, and then fire off again. Bring back the Turretia. Turretia's going to set the Reversion straight from the deck. That's not a card that I would play, but I suppose you can if you have something like several Solemns in rotation. Let's send another... Oh, let's go into a Dolka. Okay, Dolka's nice. Dolka can negate our effects. That's also not a once per turn or even a once per chain on the Dolka. There is the... well, yeah, okay, so this is open. They're really leaning into the Dino part of the Dinomorphia. Well, what can I say? They played the best deck and we didn't, so... But there's more Dinomorphia to come. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this hand. Give me that hand. Hell yeah. Emergence. Oh, and no hand traps. Let's go. Add the Mo Yi. Mo Yi. Reveal the Long Wand. Token. Chi Xiao. Chainlink 1 search. Chainlink 2 draw. We're just going to add anything to pitch to the Longyon. And we're actually going to draw into a Shithana. That's looking like tasty pitch bait as well. And we will activate the Longyon, of course, sending the Shithana. Do you guys get bored of these plays? I don't. I know I'm saying the same words over and over again, but like Moye into Chi Xiao into Longyon into Baron, there's something. It wins, really. It's a good setup. Yeah, let's ash that. I don't need you doing anything, but nice Royal Rare Foolish Barrel. That looks actually gorgeous. But sadly, it will not be resolving. Not at all. Okay, so invoke. Oh, all right. So our opponent's a filthy invoked player. Well, let's negate the invocation. If they have the Alistair, we can negate that with the Chi Xiao. They have a Deer Servant. Now, unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. And they are going to send the Entis. So they're going to get popping. Alright, there goes the Barone. They are able to special summon the Ecclesia. I will negate the Ecclesia so they don't get the search. But they also have a set card. Okay. Now, let's see what we can do from here. We can draw an impermanence. Nice. We can summon a Moye and then link that off into a Shaman. Shaman will allow us to pitch the O-Lion to bring back the Chi-Xiao. And then now we can attack and realize that Ecclesia can't be destroyed by a monster special summon from the extra deck. But luckily we did have Chi-Xiao, which was not special summoned from the extra deck. It was special summoned from the graveyard. We didn't get the search. It was not synchro summoned, but it is still a beater and we can still activate its effect. Our opponent's going to Shadal Fusion into a Construct. Now, this is a problem. That's going to be able to search and send, as well as destroy things in the battle phase. They're going to activate the Genius that was sent off Shadal Fusion, but we will be able to negate the Construct, so they're not going to send anything else and get even more value. Now, I'm actually going to get cute here and go and make the Changing go up a level. I believe it was full. I thought it was forever, but it's only till the end of the turn. I was thinking I could play Veiler, since Veiler is a tuner, and actually go into a Changing or a Barone, but I won't be able to do that. Now, our opponent's going to link off for Anaconda, but instead of going for the DP, I believe they're actually just going to fire for another Shadal Fusion. Nope, that is a Fusion Destiny. Never mind. We have the Veiler, though, so we can prevent the Anaconda from firing off and at least stem the bleeding. Alright, they're going to set a back row. We know they have the Shadal Fusion as well, either in hand or on the field. Well, let's lead with the Ecclesia. It's our only play for now. We'll pop off, grab the Taya. Taya will allow us to banish, so we can get that water attribute token with our wind attribute Taya to go into a Baxi. Our Baxi is going to spin. I imagine our opponent will activate something in response. We'll chain link block just in case. And we can set up the Adhara for layer. Our opponent has no response. They're just going to allow us to spin back, and that's actually going to be lethal damage. Overcoming the Menace. The Shadal Menace. Alright, we're up against the one simply known as Chief, and they're playing Dark Lords. Our hand is not ideal. We only have the Veiler. They're going to activate the Ukabak sending. They're going to send the Ixchel and another... oh, they're playing Dark Lord Despia. Okay, so they've got the Theater. They've got the Branded. They're going to get the Dramaturge. They sent the Tragedy. Tragedy is going to allow them to add the Aluber. Now they're off to the races. I don't even think they've normal summoned yet either, which is... No, they normal summoned the Ukabak, but they were able to bring back the Superbia, which can special summon back the Ixchel as well. They're filling in the field real quick. I'm going to need to see a fusion... Well, they have the Theater, so they can fusion with the Theater. Speaking of which, here we go. They're going to go into a Masquerade. All right, we have to be careful with Masquerade because we activate a lot of things. So that's a lot of life points we'll be playing. Of course, the Dramaturge can come right back. Luckily, that was turn 1. That would have been basically an OTK if we didn't put too much up. Okay, Call by the Grave will help, especially from when we send that Masquerade because it can special summon itself back. We're going to go Ecclesia. They're going to go Ixchel. Ixchel grabbing them back. The Indulge Dark Lord. We are going to grab ourselves a Moye. Moye is going to trigger. We're going to take another 600. We'll reveal another Moye. They're going to go Indulge Dark Lord. Now, Indulge Dark Lord is actually going to send a Dark Lord to our side of the field. Little do they know, we can actually use this as material at some point. So let's go for the Swordsoul token. We can go, of course, into Chi-Xiao. Chi-Xiao will trigger and Moye will trigger. We're going to lose a lot of life points on this exchange, but we will at least be able to beat over... Well, or we can get negated, so we're not going to be searching. But we can at least beat over the Masquerade and deal with that some other way. Would have really liked that Maxi on their turn. Alright, so beat over the Masquerade. At least we're not going to be dealing with paying anything. We can activate things in peace. Let's go Adhara. And let's go Blackout. And our opponent... Okay, so, I mean, we had the Called by the Grave for the Masquerade when they tried to special summon. We had the Blackout, which we could destroy our Adhara to destroy 2 things, but we had the Max C, we had the Veiler, but our opponent didn't know about a lot of this. I don't understand the concession, but I'll take it. I think we had a reasonable chance to win. Definitely needed to black out the Theater as well as the Dramaturge. All right. Not a bad hand, but not ideal. Obviously, Chixiao is always our first play. If we can search, we will. Yep, looks like we're going to be good. No Imperm or Veiler. And we draw an Ash off the Moya, which is nice. We've got the Long Yawn. We can pitch the Ashana. Synchro up into Barone. Burn for 12. And we've got hand traps. We've got a negate. We've got a monster negate. Let's see what our opponent can do. Our opponent sets... What? Creature swap. Okay. Well, we have to negate that. We can't let them have our Barone. Okay. Well, back row decks are scary. That's for sure. We have a Taya. Okay, we can activate the Taya. Let's just go fishing. Our opponent lost wins. Okay, so they're going to negate our Barone. This is actually a permanent negation, and it will have the attack. So, unfortunately, our Barone is kind of useless at this point. We can go Taya. Our opponent's going to crack down before we even get the chance to activate and take that. So we're going to have to get cucked by a Gradle and get cucked by a Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Okay, so our opponent is playing Stall / Steal Your Shit Tribal. Innovative, if not annoying, and they drew probably the singular best card in the deck off the top. Luckily, we have the Ash Blossom. Thank the Lord. Also, these Max Cs are looking fairly dead. They're going to target the Gradle Alligator and... What does this card do? I don't know. Send it to destroy the monster this was equipped with. Okay, well, we can fire the Max C because that's actually going to special summon from the deck. Destroying the Gradle. They're going to get the Cobra and the Eagle. Okay, so now they're going to attempt to steal both our stuff. They steal the Chixiao, and then they trade with the Barone. I believe there was a way they could have done that where they could have got both of them. I should have fired the Chixiao, but I forgot it was a damage step trigger, and you can't do it during your damage step. Luckily, we drew Pot of Desires off the top, which is a pretty ridiculous hit. Let's see if we can reclaim our honor after they've stolen our things. We can special summon the Adhara. Adhara can get us into a Monk. They're going to Lost Win and reset the Lost Win. We can banish the Ashana. Ashana getting the Vishada. We can banish the Adhara, returning the Ashana, which we can use to pitch with the Long Wand. Long Wand pitch. We can go into Changying as a 10. Changying is going to be pretty darn big, that's for sure. And he's going to debuff our opponent by quite a bit. We can go into a Shaman. Shaman can discard probably the O-Lion so that we can return our Monk. It's just another body, but I believe this is going to also allow us to send that that final back row, and that's going to be lethal. Yeah, our Gradle opponent, well, listen, we all know what this means. They ran. They were cowards. Not cowards for playing a Gradle deck, though. That takes some balls. All right, the last game of my little Duelist Cup run, I will be returning to reach max duel level, but I had to settle for going to level 15 for now. Let's go Moye. Obviously, we can reveal the Ashana, go for the token. Chixiao. We know how this goes. Let's speed this up. Let's make this a little easier for you guys. There we go. Okay, so drew into another Tenyi Spirit, which is nice. We can pitch the Ashana and get the token, then go up into the Barone and Burn for 12, of course. Set the called by and then pass. We've got the maxi. We've got a few interruptions here. Let's see what our opponent's on. Opponent is on so this could be Cyber Dragon. Oh, this is actually Cyber Dragons. Okay. Sometimes they played in Drytron, which would have been a little more scary, but we can maxi. They're actually going to call by the grave that. I suppose that's fine. Let's see what we can do now. They have the all these are German. I don't know. What the heck? Okay, so we're actually going to have our own call by the grave, preventing them from re-special summoning that hurts from the grave. Be gone. Be gone. They're going to go machine duplication. I'm going to have to negate that. Having a few extra copies of a card whose name is Cyber Dragon seems like a problem. They're going to Galaxy Soldier, sending another Galaxy Soldier. Special summon the Galaxy Soldier. Now we can banish and negate the Galaxy Soldier effect. No adding any Galaxy monsters from deck to hand. But they can link summon into Seeger. Now, Seeger can battle trick over us. They choose to go over the Chixiao. That's a bold move. Not sure why you wouldn't destroy the Barone. Barone can just pop, which is precisely what we will do. Let's see if there's any tricks. No. Okay, interesting. Direct attack. Can't do much more. Actually, literally can't do anything. I mean, we can set the blackout, but we don't have a worm on field. We're not going to be able to destroy anything. No effect monster. No Vishita special summoning. And luckily, our opponent is not doing anything either, and that is a great draw. Let's go for Ecclesia, and instead of even prompting the Ash Blossom, let's just go in for lethal damage, destroying Cyber Dragon. Look at that field fall apart. Our opponent disappearing into the Shadow Realm, the Void. Tenyi Swordsoul. Duelist Cup. That's the deck. It's old news, but it's old. Reliable. Let me know in the comments what you are playing in the Duelist Cup. Are you grinding? Are you spamming Eldritch? Are you just using this as a chance to test out janky decks? Let me know. I will be continuing to grind up the ladder and hopefully reach that duel level 20 so I can advance to phase 2. Jules out.